is in the house. And guys, the news has just broken. May 31st, 2018, Zinedine Zidane said he was leaving Real Madrid. It absolutely shook Madridistas. Since then, they've hired Lopetegui, they've hired Solari, and now 284 days later, Zinedine Zidane is back. Bobo, what do you make of all this? You maybe on the locker room, you said that you were not surprised that maybe Zidane was receiving some calls. I think Bobo has a little crystal ball. Are you surprised by this, or did you expect it?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that Perez wanted him now. I thought that Solari, it's not his fault if Real Madrid lost these games. It's how the year is going to go, because when you win 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years, mentally, you're going to have a down.
Right.
It happens naturally. Even if you don't think it's going to happen, or you still think you're training good, it's going to happen because you don't put that effort in like you did in the last 4 or 5 years. So you're going to have a down. And it's not the coach's fault. It's not the player's fault. It's just how it is.
Right.
It's just how life is, how sports. What? Real Madrid can't win every year. And what about the other teams? You know what I mean? So I thought they were going to change in June. I thought it was going to be a more normal thing.
Correct.
But in Real Madrid, no one's normal there, right? So, Perez, I know that he called Zidane so many times in the last week. Yesterday, the day before, I think he got Butragueño. That's what they told me, because I get all my information from La Gazzetta in Italy.
Oh, okay.
Because that
Italian sources.
Yeah, that's very, very
spot on.
Spot on. And I have a journalist. He's one of my best friends. So I said, so that's why when I am on the locker room, I take out the phone and say, I got stuff in here. So he called him, Butragueño called him, Valdan, everyone called Zidane.
And this happened right after that Ajax loss, because they say that the first call was initially made 4 or 5 days ago, which would put it right after the Champions League knockout.
Of course, he wanted him back. But Zidane didn't want to go back, because he said, you know what, the dressing room needs a change.
Right.
Because normally they say that 5 years is the right amount of years, and you got to change the players and the coach.
Correct. And that's exactly what Zidane said when he left in May 31st of last year. He said, this is the right time. I feel it's the right time because the players need a change. And they got that change. They got Lopetegui. It didn't work. They got Solari. It didn't work. So why are we going back?
So let me tell you one thing. After the Champions League that Zidane won, the third one, I text him after 2 days. Okay? I say, if you win the Champions League next year, I'm going to call you Harry Potter. He goes, you're a magician.
Yes.
He goes, no, I'm leaving. And no one knew that.
Right.
And I'm going, what do you mean? Where are you going? He said, yeah, that's enough. I'm going to rest. I said, okay.
And so that brings up a great point, too. A lot of people say maybe he left because it's an exhausting job. Being Real Madrid manager is very mentally...
24/7.
Exactly.
24/7. And he wants to...
Even his son said that he needed a rest. And he's gotten that. He's been on vacation for 10 months. And so now what does this project look like for him? What does he need to do?
Well, he's going back to one of the biggest clubs in the world. He signed a 3.5-year contract, like these 3 months and 3 years. I think he's going to get the players that he wants. You want the names?
Sure.
The names are in here.
A lot of our viewers want Kylian Mbappe and White.
Okay, Mbappe's not going to go.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Correct.
Neymar,
you said that.
If Barcelona, this is what I know, okay? It's not 100%, you guys, okay? It's It's not 100%, like 100, maybe 97, 98. I know that Neymar wants to go to Barcelona, okay?
Back.
If he doesn't go to Barcelona, he's going to go to Real Madrid. Okay, that's what people tell me.
Right.
Hazard's going to go to Real Madrid.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I know.
Also,
at the end,
he said he's made his decision also. So
at the end, is he going to go? I don't know. But that's what. And he's going to buy maybe 1 or 2 defenders. He's going to, fix the team up, get some young, good players.
Right.
Freshen the team up.
And you guys be sure to send your questions because I'll read them to Christian and he'll answer as we go. But putting yourself in Zinedine Zidane's shoes, a lot of people say, why would he come back? He's got the money. He has an amazing legacy. I mean, he's won it all with Real Madrid. Why come back and put that legacy on the line?
First thing, it's not about the money. It's about, he's a coach, right? So coach the youth team of Real Madrid. Then he had the chance to coach the first team. 3 years, he said, you know what, I want to rest 1 year. But next year, he was going to go coach. But that's his life. That's what he likes to do. That's what he wants to do. So if it wasn't Real Madrid, it would have been or Juventus or Chelsea or some other team.
Right.
So Real had this problem this week, the last 10 days. So they needed a change straight away. They needed their guy back. And, they had to it wasn't easy because he's very hard-headed, He's very, very hard-headed. So, Perez, he has an amazing, Perez brought him 25 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he has a father-son relationship, As soon as Benitez had a problem, he put Zidane in the first team.
Right.
So then he won the 3 Champions League, so he won everything. So it's like his son. So, he had to convince his son. But it wasn't because he didn't want to coach Real Madrid. He wanted to change.
Right.
Because sometimes it's good for a club and a coach just to change a bit. But, Perez wanted him. He was the first guy on the list, and he said to everyone in the club, I want him. Because with him, we're still strong as Madridistas, how do you say?
Yeah, Madridistas.
Yes. So, we have to go on the same line, all of us. If you get Mourinho, it's a bit different,
Absolutely.
Everyone wants this guy here. So we have to come back. He had a hard time. Wasn't easy to convince him. At the end, he convinced him. Zidane, I think he did the right thing because he is given back the opportunity that Perez gave him. So in Italian, I say it's un riconoscente. I don't know how you say it. I don't know how you say it in English or Spanish.
Please translate. But again, giving back what he gave to him, not forgetting what Florentino Perez did for him.
So he went back, and now next year Real Madrid's gonna get some big players.
Ooh.
Because they got tons of money and they need big players.
Correct. And when you look at the roster, this is almost the exact same roster that Zinedine Zidane had. So why did these players play at a certain level for Zidane and not for Solari?
I just told you 5 minutes ago.
Because they got tired. And
it's not that they don't want to play. Because yesterday they won 4-1, right?
Right. 4-2.
4-2. So what does that mean? That one week they're going to play for Solari, the week after, no. It's just how it is.
Right.
When you have these big teams that win for so long, there's a change, you're going to have a down. And that's what they had. And Solari, he's doing his stuff. He's making the guys that are training good playing. Right. You don't train good, you're not going to play. That's how it should be. He's got some problems with some players, but that's how it is. And I think, if they didn't care, they wouldn't have won yesterday. Believe me. If the players didn't care, they wouldn't have won yesterday. But they won 4-2. You know what I mean? Wasn't an easy game, but they won. So what does that mean? It's just that it's an up and down year. A lot of problems, a lot of up front. What's their problem? That Ronaldo goes away.
Correct.
50, 60 goals a year for the last 10 years. You got Benzema, Bale. They're scorers, but they're not scorers like Ronaldo that score every game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every game.
And like
Of course. And like me, thank you.
Gahal Mitra saying, how will Zidane make the team like they were before? Because now they don't have Ronaldo and players are not tactically in great form. Does he need to just get new players, or how do they go back?
Next year is going to get some. They're going to buy up front. That's where they need.
Okay.
They need players up front. So they're going to play up front. They're going to buy players up front. Casemiro, Kroos, Modric, I wouldn't sell them for all the money in the world.
Right, now let's go through the lineup. So Lopetegui and Florentino Perez bring in Courtois. Zidane is known to be a Keylor Navas guy. Do you think Zidane goes back to Navas, or does he use Courtois?
Yes.
So goes back to Navas.
That's what I think. Listen, he has the strength to go back now. No one's saying anything.
Correct. Yeah. Now is the time to go back to his ways.
Of course, he's going to say, listen, you want me? Okay, this. And I'm sure 100%. He said that, and he's going to listen. If Courtois plays fantastic, he'll play. He wants to win.
Right.
It's not that one goalkeeper is his friend and the other one's better. You can't do that stuff.
He picks what's best for the team.
Of course, always 100%. If he believes more in Navas, he's going to make Navas play.
And the other big question, and a lot of you are saying in our comment section, Marcos Teixeira saying buy Bale. A lot of people saying what's going to happen with Bale. What would you do with Gareth Bale?
I sell him.
Sell him.
100%. Bye-bye. Sayonara.
Because his heart isn't with the club anymore. Do you see that also?
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
In 5 years, you don't speak Spanish?
Don't even care to learn, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're in China or in Russia, okay, because it's a hard language, right?
Exactly.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Italian? If you don't, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Can I say something? When we were with Ferrari, okay, like the Ferrari team, okay, all the pilots, no one's Italian. When they do interview, they always do in English, right? After a couple of years, the fans get pissed off.
Because they
At
want
least
you to do
say,
it in Italian.
ciao, come stai? Say 3 words. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so when I hear a pilot that says, ciao, everyone, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy, in 5 years, listen, from English, hola, como estás, todo bien? Jesus. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
come on, 5 words.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And a smile. Can you do that?
Zizou Abedin saying, is Ronaldo coming back? So that question was actually
No.
asked in the press conference, and he said that he didn't want to talk about it, that it wasn't the right time, that they'll make adjustments in the summer. But I find it very difficult
No, I was
for
going
him
to stay
to come
in
back.
Juventus, yeah.
Absolutely. Ryan Moran saying, this is exactly the truth. He's a world-class manager, and he totally proved himself. He has bad tactics, and this team is lacking in tactics. Now, this was
Who has bad tactics?
a lot of people criticize Zidane and say he's not a tactician.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Ryan.
I listen to everyone all the time, okay? Maybe I don't agree with people.
Right.
How do you guys know that he's not a good tactician? Have you guys ever seen him train? Have you gone to the Madrid camps where they train and see them train? Like, have you seen him train for a week?
Right.
Then you can say, oh, I like his tactics, I don't like his tactics. But just to say he hasn't got good tactics because you think that way, it's not a right thing to say, I think. Like when I speak about coaches or players, it's because like some coaches I don't go see, but I call all the players or a lot of players that have had these coaches or the players that are there or the people that are working there that are my friends. I say, how is Sarri in Napoli? You know, I've talked to the director, played with me when I was in Prato. So I call him and say, how is Sarri? He says, he does this. He does tactical work an hour a day. He does. So I know, I get information. Then I see a couple of players in Milan. How is Sarri? Oh no, we do this. So then I can
make an assessment.
You know what I mean? But just to say, like, you know, Di Francesco just got sent away. He thinks about too much attacking. It's not coaches. It's not easy to be a coach.
Right.
You got 24 players, 26 players, and you gotta defend. You gotta attack. You gotta,
and deal
it's
with
not
their
easy.
personalities.
Of course, man.
Which is maybe what Zidane is the best at, is dealing with that locker room.
You got 25 crazy people, man. So no one thinks the same. So you gotta get them to think the same.
Right.
Why is he good? Because he's got personality. He was a player, so a lot the other players will listen to him, and he built a team together. You know what I mean? Like everyone's always together. No one would say anything. He made a lot of young players play. Asensio, Vasquez, like these players, he threw them in. Like he was making everyone play, and everyone was happy.
They were. Even when they were on the bench, they were happy.
Of course.
And that's exactly, I think, what Real Madrid is missing, is that happiness again on the pitch. Well, in 149 matches in charge, he has 104 wins, 29 draws, and only 16 losses, a 70% win rate. Was this the right move for Real Madrid? To wrap up here.
Can I the lolly?
Yeah, sure. He's having candy because this has just been a show here at beIN Sports with Zinedine Zidane being appointed. We're all on a sugar high.
Is he the right choice?
Right, man. Is this the right move?
We're going to see at the end of the next year.
Come on, Bobo. Give me your predictions. Look at your crystal ball.
Real Madrid is going to be in the Champions League semi-finals again next year.
But you're not predicting a Real Madrid victory in the Champions League?
I'm not a magician. I'm not Harry Potter.
Oh, well, there's your special Zinedine Zidane Sports Burst edition. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular scheduled programming at noon. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.